Welcome to The Bottom Line. I'm Pastor Rick Utze from Maranatha Community Fellowship in Plain City, Ohio. You know, I actually got the idea for this podcast from my Twitter feed. Mark Driscoll did a devotional, and the question was asked is, if you knew you only had a few days to live, what would you do? And I wonder if most of us would totally reorganize our lives and be like, oh, I need to do this, 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 and this. Maybe you need to make amends with people. Maybe you want to tell somebody something you haven't told them. Maybe you want to get your family together. And some of that's good, right? But I got to thinking, we should be living our lives like Jesus could come at any time. Or he could take us home to be with him at any time. So it really shouldn't drastically alter what we do or even make us fearful that may happen. And John 13, verses 1 to 5, it starts like this. It says, before the Passover festival, Jesus knew that his hour had come to depart. So he goes, I know it's time for me to leave this world and go to be with my Father. And what did he do? If you know John 13, you know that this is the passage where he washed his disciples' feet. Like he got down, he got the basin, he got the towel, and he washed their dirty, stinky feet. That is something that the disciples would not want to do. Otherwise, they would have probably already washed Jesus' feet. Nobody had done it. There wasn't necessarily, I guess, a servant around to do it. And Jesus says, I'm doing this for a reason. I'm showing you this. And he didn't just wash some of his disciples' feet. He washed them all, and Judas was there. And it even specifically says he knew that the one who was going to betray him was there. So he not only washed his disciples' feet, he washed his betrayer's feet, his enemy's feet. He washed Peter's feet, who he knew was going to deny him 3 times, which he says just after this account. He washed the feet of the men who he knew would scatter when he was arrested. He washed their feet. And there was a purpose for him in doing that. And so I got to thinking, wait a minute. Jesus had hours, before his betrayal, before his arrest, before his trial, before his death, before his resurrection. And he's teaching the disciples an example by washing their feet. And sometimes I think we think some of those service things are so small and insignificant, and they're not as spiritual as maybe like praying. And does God command us to pray? Did Jesus command us to pray? Yes. Did Jesus pray after this in chapter 17 for his disciples? Yes. Did he go to the Garden of Gethsemane and pray to his God for himself? Yes. But he also took the time to serve others. So it's not just a matter of what we know. Yes, we need to know God's word, and we need to come to know Jesus Christ. But it's not just how smart we are in knowing the doctrines. It's a matter of being able to take that and knowing how to live for Jesus and please him by serving him and serving others and being self-sacrificing. And it's not just about our own self-interest. That's what it means to be ready, to be watching, to be alert. It means actively living in a way that pleases him. So I would hope that all of us are living in a way that if Jesus came tonight, that we would be ready and we wouldn't have to fret and fear that Jesus would come at that time. So here's the bottom line. It's not just about our IQ and our smarts and our doctrine, but it's also a matter of our how-to. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time on The Bottom Line.